it right here, and then we'll get started. Right here, real quick. Make sure this vehicle is good. Looks like it is. Both ways. Alright. Perfect. Okay. Alright, everybody. This is Poncho Blazin ATM, aka Reverend Joseph James Holland, at your service. And welcome in because I'm the social media and YouTube legend and future First Ballot Hall of Famer. I'm saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, staying saved, living right, doing God's will, and keeping heaven my home. And before we officially get started, I normally do start recording like right at my house at Lynch, Kentucky. But, well, we've been having some recording issues there in Benham. I wanted to wait until we get to Cumberland before we start recording. So, just in case you all are wondering about the delay, that is the reason why. But, anyways, I'm so happy to see everybody, and somebody say everybody for tuning in right now at this time. Whether you're tuning in for the live stream or in to the previous recording, I appreciate everybody coming in Facebook Live for Poncho Blazin ATM episode 17 at this time. And along with that, I'm very excited to see the Facebook live chat tuning in at this time. To all the Facebook live chat that's currently tuning in, I appreciate all of you all tuning in so much. Just always remember, let me know how old you are and where you're from. That way we can shout you out properly. And if this is ever your first time tuning into any of my live streams, any of my live broadcasts, any of my live recordings, then just let me know. That way we can officially welcome you as a first-time visitor. Well, for this episode of Facebook Live with Poncho Blazin ATM episode 17, it is going to be a lot different than all the other episodes. What we're going to do on this episode is we're going to do something called Blackatology. Now, this has been announced for a month now, and what Blackatology means is that during this episode, we're going to be talking about Black history's past, present, and future. And we're going to do it in a rap form, a hip-hop form, R&B form, possibly gospel singing form. But mostly it's going to be rapping hip-hop form and poetry. So get ready because we are going to do Blackatology today. And, one second. We're also doing Blackatology on the Talking Poncho's Palace podcast. Now, the Talking Poncho's Palace podcast episodes 193 and 194 will be on YouTube Live this Saturday at Poncho Holland Vivo. And remember, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube page in order to receive live notifications and in order to join the YouTube Live Nation chat. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook on my regular page in Joseph James Holland, and subscribe to my Facebook fan page in Poncho Blazin ATM, where you can only subscribe to me for just 99 cents. Now, on these episodes of Facebook Live, I just want to remind you all and let you all know, at any time you all are able to connect with me. It's all about CEC, connecting, engaging, and communicating, where we connect, engage, and communicate with everybody all around the world. And you are free to comment, you are free to respond, you are free to chat with me, get to know me personally. A lot of times when we're on platforms, we don't have time to really connect with fans, for us public figures and celebrities. So for us public figures and celebrities, we don't really have time to connect with y'all because we're so busy doing so much. But here on Facebook Live, you get a chance to connect with me personally. You get a chance to get to know me a whole lot better on a personal level. So feel free to chime in at any time. or just if you just want to say hi and just want a shout out, hey, I'll be more than welcome to give you a shout out and say hi to you. I appreciate everybody for always tuning in to everything that I do, no matter what it is, no matter what the circumstance is. I appreciate all of you all. And I just want to send a couple of announcements before we officially begin. This Saturday, the NAACP's 57th Annual Image Awards will be taking place. So the 57th Annual NAACP Image Awards will be taking place this Saturday on CBS, Paramount Plus, and on BET. And they're only going to do a live show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thought they was going to do another pre-show, but it turns out that they're only going to do a live show. So they're just going to be doing a live show, and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the replays will be available on demand, so you're more welcome to check out the replays once that live show airs officially. And on March 8th, 2026, my mama, prophetess Princess Holland, legendary Christian singer, preacher, and future First Ballot Hall of Famer, will be the special guest minister at 7 p.m. at Full Gospel House of Salvation, and that's going to be in Appalachia, Virginia, and that's on March 8, 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never heard her preach or minister before, get ready, because the power of God is always on her. When she allows the Spirit of God to use her, great and mighty things happen in the body of Christ. So be sure to tune in and be in person and online that day on March 8th, 2026. And also, March 1st, this Sunday, Kingdom City Church, a KCC in Charlotte, North Carolina, at 6 p.m., they'll be hosting the Anointing Church service. And that's going to be at Kingdom City Church, KCC, in Charlotte, North Carolina on March 1st, 2026 at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to be there in person and check out the services online on YouTube and Facebook. And for Mom's sermon, it will be recorded on YouTube and Facebook. And also, Cornerstone Community Church wanted us to announce that their revival will be taking place. So Cornerstone Community Church in Baxter, Kentucky's revival will be taking place from March 4th until March 8th of 2026. So be sure, if you ain't doing nothing, to be there with them on those services for that revival. And don't forget, it's Black History Pioneer Month, where throughout the whole entire month, we're going to be talking about, throughout the whole month of the NBA, we're going to be talking about Black History Pioneers. And when I think of Black History Pioneers, I think of the legendary and great Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson was one of the best all-time NBA basketball players of all time. Played for the Milwaukee Bucks and New York Knicks. He really doesn't get enough credit as credit is due, because there's been a lot of great players that come since then. But Oscar Robertson, being one of the true guards in the NBA, really did something right there. For him to play in Milwaukee and New York, that was a true blessing. And we know that New York, the New York Knicks is now getting back to the place where they're playoff contenders. But at a time, the New York Knicks was on fire with Oscar Robertson. And don't forget that it is Black History Month. So throughout the month, we'll be celebrating Black History. And I just want to say this. Thank you all for always acknowledging Black history every chance you get. Thank you for recognizing us for Black history. Thank you for recognizing Black History Month. We appreciate you all very, very much. And to all the Black ancestors from the past, thank you for making a sacrifice so much, for sacrificing your lives to make our lives a better future for us, black people in the present and future. Without your love and sacrifice, we would not be here today. Without your love and sacrifice in slavery in the Jim Crow era, we would not have equal rights and civil rights today. We would still continue to be in slavery in the Jim Crow era and with coloreds and whites only. But thank you all so much for your love and sacrifice every day. And I believe I wanted to make sure that I get all the announcements out of the way before we officially begin. And I believe that is all the announcements. Oh yes, just one more thing. The NCAA March Madness tournament will be taking place in about 2 to 3 weeks. So for the men's and women's college basketball, the NCAA tournament will be taking place in about 2 to 3 weeks. Be sure to check your local listings to see on what the schedules will be and to see who will be playing and qualifying in the NCAA tournament. Okay. Now, I believe that is all the announcements that we have. Alright, so for this episode, it is called Blackatology. And let me turn the heat off for this because we really don't need the heat right now. Hold on just a second, y'all. Oh, okay, perfect. Alright, so on this episode of Blackatology, I'm going to explain what it means. So for those of y'all that don't know what Blackatology means, it means this. What we're going to be doing this episode is we're going to be talking about black history's past, present, and future. And we're going to sum it up all in a rap, poetry, and hip-hop form. We may do some R&B and gospel music along with it. I'm not for sure officially, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, here we go. When I think of Blackatology, I think of amponology, I think of criminology, and I think of psychology. I think of what the psychiatrists have to go through on a daily basis. Hearing people's voices, hearing people's problems, hearing people's pain, trials and tribulations. But we all go through trials and tribulations each and every single day. Just like statistics, just like trigonometry. And now we move on theoretically to history and psychology with sociology. The main point about this is Black History Month is celebrated on a daily basis. Black history is celebrated on a weekly basis. Black history is celebrated on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, on a decade basis, on a century basis. Black history is celebrated overall 24/7, all day, every single day. There's black history, there's white history, there's Latina history, there's Asian history, there's African history, Canadian history. There's history all around the world. And we love history. We love facts. We love going back to seeing what brought us back to the dance and what is keeping us here going. Every day, something keeps us going. Every day, we go back and look to see on what has happened. Every day, we acknowledge the past, we acknowledge the present, and we acknowledge the future. And when I think of the past, I think of the black man that was with Jesus when he died on the cross. I think of the black man that carried the cross for Jesus. And when I think of history also, I think of Moses with his black woman. A lot of people will say that Moses dated a white woman. But Moses dated a black woman, and facts speak for facts in itself. And when I also think of black history, we think of slavery from the 1600s all the way until June 19th of 1865. June 19th of 1865 was where slavery officially ended, with the state of Texas being the last state to know about slavery ended. They had no choice but to end slavery. Now, originally, slavery ended in 1863, but Texas continued to keep slaves for 2 years. And for those 2 years, nobody in Texas knew that they was free until June 19th of 1865. But think about slavery and what slavery really means. Slavery is bondage. Slavery is evil. Slavery is nothing but badness. And slavery was in the Bible days. Oh, and slavery in the Bible days was probably way worse than slavery during the 1600s through 1865. But the world recognizes the slavery between the 1600s to 1865. And a lot of people will say that the white man originally started slavery. I'll give it to you like this, and I'll spit the real truth and facts to you. White people took advantage of slavery. White people used and abused slavery in a whole new level. But if you really want to know where slavery came from, it all started with black on black. It started with the light-skinned black men not liking the dark-skinned black men. And because the light-skinned black men didn't like the dark-skinned black men, didn't like the dark-skinned black people, we sold our own kind to the white man. And because we sold our own kind to the white man in the process, we got killed. And here we thought the light-skinned black people was smart, and we thought we was doing something, and we was getting ready to get a bunch of money. But in the process, we got killed. To all my dark-skinned brothers and sisters out there, to all my dark-skinned black people out there, on behalf of the light-skinned brother, the light-skinned black person, I truly apologize that we put you all in slavery. I truly apologize for our kind allowing our egos and our pride to get in the way to put you all in slavery. Now, with that in mind, the white man took advantage of slavery. And we got punished upon punished every single day. We got tortured upon tortured every single day. Now, there was a few white people that didn't like slavery. Hold on a second, y'all. Aha, gotcha. And before we get back into that topic, I want to set the record straight on this. Hardin County High School was created in August of 2008. And I was one of the first class of sophomores to be here. And this is where I got my first start in the rap career in music industry. And I was discovered here by Officer Jake Spurlock from Kaywood, Kentucky. Thank you, Officer Jake Spurlock, for discovering me and for recognizing my talents. I appreciate you very much. But back to what I was saying. With slavery, you already know the story. So I don't have to tell you once more about what happened. But what I can tell you is that after we was free, from 1865 all the way until 1880, for 15 years, you didn't hear nothing about anything. Even though the late great President Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, he believed that slavery was wrong. He didn't, however, believe that blacks and whites should work together. I wish the late great Abraham Lincoln, President Abraham Lincoln, would have worked with us black people. But I'm so thankful and so happy with him and the late great Frederick Douglass that they freed the slaves. And on top of that, from the 1880s all the way until 1964, the Jim Crow era started. Now, what is the Jim Crow era? The Jim Crow era is coloreds only and whites only. It means that black people couldn't hang with white people and white people couldn't hang with black people. For 80 something years, 84 years, we had to go through that. Now, once we was out of slavery, we didn't have no opportunities, didn't have no chances. So we had to make the most of what we had. And I will say this, even though they tried to put us down, they couldn't keep us down. We kept on going. They tried to humiliate us. They tried to embarrass us. They tried to make us look like fools. But we still kept on going each and every single day. We got sprayed with water hose. We got tortured by the police, the Jim Crow era police, not today's police. Just want to set the record straight, not today's law enforcement. I'm talking about the Jim Crow era police. The Jim Crow era police was racist. Most of them. Most of the Jim Crow era police and law enforcement back then was racist. I said most of them, not all of them. And upon facts, the late great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, the late great Jesse Williams, the late great Congressman John Lewis, the late great Reverend Jesse Jackson, and Reverend Al Sharpton, all five a part of the civil rights movement. With Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat. But 9 months prior before that, there was a 15-year-old girl that refused to give her seat. But it was only until the late great Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat was when something was done about the bus change. And upon years with the Jim Crow era, oh, it was torture. Oh, it was suffering. But we overcame all odds. And our eyes seen the glory. And we knew that one day, when the glory comes and victory is won, we shall rise above it all. And that we rised above it all. We rised above hate. We rised above slavery. We rised above the Jim Crow era. We rised above prejudice and racism. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still prejudice and racism today in the world. And we still got a long ways to go. But we're way more better shape than what we was in. We're in a better place now than we was in. We see interracial sex. We see interracial relationships. We see interracial marriages. We see it all. And I love when we mix it up. I love to see blacks and whites come together. I love to see internationals come together. I love to see internationals and whites come together. I love to see internationals and blacks come together. I love to see it all, because it's not about the color of our skin. It's about the content of our character. And to all women and ladies out there in the whole world, wait a second. Gotcha. Got that bridge. The Harlan football field. Gotcha. I love all women and ladies around the whole world. You may see me single. You may see me not single. But I want to let you know this, that my love is still for all of you. And my love will still be for Miss Amazing one day. You may see me in a relationship in the future. You may not see me in a relationship in the future. You may see me go out with a woman in the future. You may not see me go out with a woman in the future. But regardless of the fact, I will still be serving the Lord all day, every day. Because I am sexy, handsome, good looking, and I am hot. And I'm a black man that's a Christian. And I don't say that because I'm a black man and a Christian. I say that because I'm a Christian that is a black man. And because I am a Christian that is a black man, I thank God for freedom. I thank God for justice. I thank God for liberty. I thank God for all black history, past, present, and future. From the late Kunta Kinte, from the late Harriet Tubman, for all the past black ancestors that was in slavery. I appreciate all your love, sacrifice. And to the original black church that started it all, I appreciate you all very much that started the black church in slavery. And when I think of the black church, I think of the black church that took place in the 1900s, when they had no pianos, when they had no drums, when they had no guitars, but they had an organ, and they would play that organ each and every single day in the black church. And I thank God for all the black history that took place in the Jim Crow era. We might not have agreed with the rules and the regulations, but it only made us stronger. It made us better. It made us more hungrier to have civil rights, equal rights, social rights, and justice rights for everybody. And this is not just to say for black history. It says for all history. All history is important. Black history is important because you will not take black history away from our schools. You will not take black history away from our children. You will not take black history away from our families. You may try to remove black history, but black history will always remain in the whole world. Just like white history will always remain in the whole world. White history is always important. International history is always important. Christians' history is always important. Sinners and backsliders' history is always important. Women's history is always important. Men's history is always important. The work history is always important. The church history is always important. Sports history is all important. All of history is important. You try to take away black history, you might as well take away all history. You might as well take away Christians' history. You might as well take away all of our history. Because we are all people. And the one thing that I can say about this in blackatology is that we all bleed red. We all have souls. We all mostly have eyes. We all mostly have ears. We all mostly can hear. We mostly can talk. We mostly can see. We mostly can feel. We mostly can taste. We thank God for all that we have, for all that we need, and for all our wants, because our needs are important, better than our wants. And to everybody that continues to make history, let's continue to make history on a daily basis with blackatology. Not only for blackatology, but for criminology, but for radiology, but for technology, and for sociology, for everything that is taking place. I thank God for blackatology. And I want to say this before we officially close. Regardless of the situation of what happens, blackatology will always remain a mystery. Blackatology will always remain a fact. Blackatology will always be great. Because at the end of the day, it's all about what you put to use. And free at last, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last in blackatology for our past, present, and history, and our future in history. But I've got to say real quickly, shout outs to Franklin Baldwin for joining me in the Facebook live chat. I appreciate you joining me in the Facebook live chat very much. And to everybody that's joined me in the Facebook live chat, I appreciate you all joining me as well. And to everybody that's enjoyed the live stream and the previous recording, in our previous recording, I appreciate you all as well. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and my regular page in Joseph James Holland. And subscribe to my Facebook fan page in Poncho Blazin ATM, where you can only subscribe to me for just 99 cents. Along with that, be sure to follow me and subscribe to me on YouTube in Pacho Holland Vivo in order to receive live notifications and join the YouTube Live Nation chat. And be sure to follow and like, share to my mama, Prophetess Princess Holland, and Prophetess Princess Holland Vivo on YouTube and Facebook. Be sure to follow us on One Way Ministries and Global Force Records, GFR Incorporated's YouTube and Facebook pages. Be sure to like and follow me on Zang, Google, OnlyFans, and TikTok. But be sure to follow me and go be live with me Saturday for the Talk of Pacho's Palace podcast, episodes 193 and 194. We will continue Blackatology on the Talk of Pacho's Palace podcast, episodes 193 and 194. A continuation of Blackatology will continue. But until then, keep blazing. Always have God in your life no matter what. And I'll see you all on Saturday for the Talk of Pacho's Palace podcast. And for the rest of you all, I'll see you all next week on the new Facebook Live, episode 18 with Pancho Blazin ATM. And I just want to let the record straight that next month will be Women's History Month. So throughout the month of March, we will be talking all about women's history, past, present, and future. And I'm signing out as of right now.